This is a short video about the hair rig. Many people use a continuation of the hook length to tie their hair using a knotless knot. It's not a system which I prefer. I find that it tends to give you quite a stiff hair and raises a suspicion of the fish. Anyway, I'll demonstrate the knotless knot using very thick mono on a large hook so that you can see it quite easily. And then I'll show you my system where I use little stops and braids, and I'll explain why I choose the system I do over and above the knotless knot and the mono hair. Give it a little loop like that, and then simply tie it in a knot. Thread the loop over, pull it through, like so, and then just pull the knot tight. Sorry, cut off the little tag which is left, not too close to the knot. And there you have it, a little loop. You'll notice on the hook, which is a big hook for the purposes of this demonstration, that where the eye goes round, on the far side of the eye is where the wire has been cut off, and it's quite sharp. It's important when you're tying this that the mono shouldn't pull against there, otherwise it's liable to break at that point if you catch a fish. So to tie the knotless knot, put the mono through the top of the eye, pull it through, and adjust it so that the hair is the length you want. Hold the hair in that position. Start your first wind nearest you, in other words furthest away from that cut edge, and then wind down in close touching turns down the shank of the hook, and take a lot of turns on this on this big hook, and there you will see the hair, close touching turns, and then you bring the mono, the end of the mono, back through the top of the hook again, pull it through and pull it tight. So there you can see the finished article. The big problem I find with hairs tied using the mono hook length is that they're very stiff, and I think fish feel that stiffness and that resistance, and it makes them very, very wary. So I prefer to use a slightly different system. You can tie these with braid, of course, but I find the big problem with braid hook lengths is that, and it's maybe my technique, I find on the back cast that the braid tends to become tangled with the top of the rod more often than not, which I find a bit of a nuisance. So I prefer mono hook lengths, but I don't like the mono hair rig, and I tie it using a totally different system, which I'll demonstrate now. So there is a hair rig tied with a knotless knot. It's 10-pound break-in strain hook length on a size 9 hook.